7 things I wish I knew before starting my blog. My blog absolutely changed my life. It allowed me to start a business that now generates millions of dollars a year, and I'm so thankful for it. And I'm just very, very loyal to my blog and how it changed my life. And I'm such a proponent of people starting blogs because it really can lead you to so many amazing things, whether it's growing your social media or starting a business like I did. But there are certain things that you need to be doing when you start your blog that a lot of people don't. So I am here to give you my top 7 things that I wish I had known when I started my blog. Number 1, you need to treat your blog like a business from day one. So this is exactly what I would do. I like to write everything out. So I would write out your entire business plan, okay? And the blog is the perfect place to start. So this is the example that I always give, and I think it just makes it really clear what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's say you start a blog and your blog is on dogs. Your end business goal is to own a huge dog food company. But how do you get to owning that huge dog food company, okay? You start with your blog where you write every single thing about dogs. You write about dog food, but you also write about dog toys and the things that your dog likes and dog essentials and what you would do if you were getting a new puppy and blah, 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 blah. And you become insanely known for dog content, okay? Off of that dog blog, you grow it and you get your post ranked on Google and you learn all that you can about SEO. You then get it on Pinterest, okay? And this should be very close. Your blog and Pinterest, you should start. I'll get into that, but you should start those really close to each other. You're then going to start a Pinterest account for your blog. The Pinterest account is what is going to get you the most amount of page views, the fastest to your blog, all around the dog stuff. Okay, so now not only are you known on Google for dog content, but you're also starting to get known on Pinterest for dog content. Everyone is going to your blog specifically for that dog content. Then you're going to eventually start an email list for dog content. Again, the more loyal and the more passionate and the more knowledgeable that you can get about everything involving dogs makes you known as a leader in the niche for dog content, okay? Then you're going to start your TikTok and your Instagram. And you're going to do even more content on dogs. And you're going to start focusing more and more on dog food because in the back of your mind, you know that your end goal is to start a dog food company, but you don't want to, you want to be known for dogs in general, you know? So like you just want to start sprinkling it in there and becoming known as an expert. Whereas like when someone gets a dog, they'll tell their friends, oh, go watch this person's account because they talk a lot about dog food, okay? So then you have your blog, which you're known for dog content. You have your Pinterest, which you're known for dog content, your email list, your TikTok, your Instagram. You are now known as a leader in the dog niche as a dog expert that people trust. So then not only do you have the financial backing from all of the blog, your Instagram, your email list, your TikTok, blah, 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 to actually start the dog food company. But it is a no-brainer for people to buy your dog food because they trust you already with all of your dog content. So obviously you can adapt that into so many different ways. You can see how people did that for makeup brands. There are so many people that started blogs on how to do your makeup or a YouTube channel on how to do your makeup. And then they took it to TikTok and then the email list and Instagram and Pinterest and blah, blah, blah. And then when they launched their makeup line, it made so much sense. So having that foresight, the wrong word, I don't know. But having that outlook and knowing from day one, this blog is your stepping stone. You need to treat it like a business. You need to take it seriously because this blog is going to allow you to start all of those things. Is exactly what I did to starting the daily. And now the daily is bigger than I could ever imagine. And I'm so, so thankful that I started my blog because if I hadn't, it would have never happened. So, okay. That took me way longer to explain, but I think getting that into your head is huge. And one of the things that a lot of people miss the opportunity of when starting a blog. Number 2, your email list is more valuable than your social medias. This took me a long time to get into my head But if you can get it into your head, it will work for you a lot faster than it did for me. So your email list you own. You can constantly send emails over and over and over again. And that is why so many businesses try to get you on their email list the way that we want people to get on our email list. Instagram can change their algorithm in a second like this. TikTok can do the same thing. Pinterest can do the same thing. All of those social medias are unbelievable for business, but they have all the power. They can do whatever they want. If they don't want to show your stuff anymore, they don't have to. They don't owe anything to you. Where your email list, you have the power to send really, really good emails every single week or whatever frequency that you want and continue coming back to those people over and over again. On your blog, you want to handle this in as helpful and least annoying way as possible. Obviously, we all know that emails can be really annoying to receive. So in every single email that I would send on my blog or send on the daily today, we try to make it as absolutely helpful as possible. On my blog, I would always include free printables or just something that I was like, how can I make this email as helpful for the reader as possible? And my open rates to this day are like insane. They're at like 65% of people open our emails, even on the daily, which like to have an e-commerce brand have that many is like crazy. But it's that constant, like, how can we make this as helpful as possible that people keep coming back to and opening, and to have that to rely on so that you don't have to panic when algorithms change, because algorithms will change, is so nice. 3, Pinterest is your biggest traffic source when first starting your blog. Google will also become your biggest traffic source eventually, but Pinterest is by far the fastest. So when you start your blog, you're going to want to also basically hand in hand start your Pinterest. This is a little plug for my courses, because I go over my exact Pinterest strategy and my exact blogging strategy and how I use them hand in hand with each other. And it is a strategy. So you want to get on Pinterest and you want to figure it out, because the sooner that you figure it out and figure out how the back end of Pinterest works, because it's not just you plopping a picture on and hoping that it goes viral. There is a strategy to it. You will start getting more and more page views and clicks to your actual blog. If you think about it, it makes total sense. Pinterest is the only platform out there that actually allows you to click on to, people go on it specifically to click to people's websites. Whereas like Instagram and TikTok, you're just consuming the content on the app. Of course, every once in a while, I'll click on a link that someone shares on an Instagram story. But I know for me, I'm probably clicking on one link every other day, where on Pinterest, I am constantly clicking on links that take me to websites. So get on Pinterest. It's the fastest way for you to get page views, and the faster that you get page views on your blog, the faster that you're able to apply to an ad agency and start earning money from your blog. Just like Pinterest is a strategy, writing blog posts that get ranked is also a strategy/formula. There is very specific things that you need to do when writing your blog post, and even before writing your blog post, when thinking about what you're going to write about, how you're SEOing it. Everything is a formula for writing a blog, and you have to figure out that formula to get your post ranking. Again, I think a lot of people go into starting a blog like, oh, I'm just going to do this as a passion project. And that's totally fine if you want it to be a passion project. But I'm figuring you're watching this video because you want to turn it into something that like earns money or that you can start a business off of. And I feel like a lot of people go into it being like, I'm just going to write what I want to write and people will eventually start catching on and wanting to read it. No, not how it works. You need to know the back end of SEO and blogging and setting up your blog posts, headers. So many different things, categories, so many different things to get your blog post ranked. Again, that's in my Perfecting Blogging course, but you can also figure it out on YouTube. I have a very specific strategy that I follow that I teach in the courses. Nonetheless, you need to know a formula and you need to be able to figure out a formula because it will help you grow so much faster. 5, you do not need to be on every single social media platform, especially in the beginning. It took me years. It took me 5 years to get to a place where I was on every social media, and I can't be on every social media. Even though now I'm on every social media, like I dude, I'm only one human being. You're only one human being. I cannot post every single day or consistently on my blog, my email list, my Pinterest, my TikTok, and my Instagram. It is impossible. However, to know what phase you are in and what specific platform you should be focusing on is so critical. For me, those first year, I strictly focused on my blog and Pinterest. Actually, probably for the first year and a half, 2 years, I was only focusing on my blog and my Pinterest. I didn't have any other social medias to focus on, and I thank myself so much looking back, because being able to focus on just blogging and just my Pinterest allowed me to really figure those two platforms out instead of my brain being scattered and kind of knowing a little bit of every single thing. I was able to become an expert in the blog and an expert in Pinterest, so that once I became an expert in those, then I was able to become an expert in my email list and put so much time and energy into growing my email list. And then after that, I was like 3 years into my blog. That's when I started an Instagram and a YouTube, and I was able to put all my energy into that because I already spent the time putting my energy into the other social medias. And then eventually, a year, 2 years later, then I started a TikTok, which is a whole nother beast. If I would have started all of those right away, I would have given up because it would have been too overwhelming. But by batching those out in a way that made sense, allowed me to really figure them out and allow me to appropriately grow on all of those platforms. 6, it is normal to make $0 for the first year. You need to get that in your head. I feel like people think that blogging and social media is a fast game. It is not a fast game at all. But if you can stick with it, you will eventually make money. And making money on your blog is a lot more money, or social medias in general is a lot more money than you can make in other ways. Stick it out. I promise you. I always say blogging and social media is not hard. It is just a lot of work, so much more work than people could ever imagine. And 90% of people that start, they give up because they can't handle the workload. But if you're one of those that can actually keep it up and keep going while you're in that hard phase of not making anything, you will eventually make money on it, and you will be one of the 10% that actually do get out of it. And then the people that started look at you and are like, how did they do it? They did it because they kept going when they weren't making anything and got past that hard part. I promise you, when I say it takes a year to make money, it sounds really fast, but when you are in the thick of it and you are working on it every single day for 365 days, it feels like such a long time, and that's so many days to want to give up on. Keep going. It will happen. And if you stick with it, you will be one of the few that actually make money, but it's good money, so it's worth sticking with. 7, know what to invest your money in. Okay, when you start a blog or social media, you are targeted so much with ads, with programs, whatever it is. You need to know what is worth spending money on and what isn't worth spending money on. If it was me back in when I first started, this is what I would have told myself, okay? Pay for your hosting, buy a WordPress theme. Those are both really, really cheap. And buy courses from people who have been really successful in whatever you're trying to learn. I took this mindset. I was a college student, so I was babysitting. I was trying to make any money that I could, and I would take that money. I would take that money and I would invest it into courses. And I swear taking those courses allowed me to grow faster than a lot of other people in the industry, because I was learning from someone who had already spent the year or the 2 years or the 6 months or whatever it is perfecting someone. So then I was able to see their already perfected strategy and then mold it to my own content, and it just saved me so much time. So those are the 3 things that I would invest in: your host, your theme, and courses. Okay, those are all the things that I wish I knew when I first started my blog. If you saw my last video, you know that I'm slightly gearing this channel more towards blogging, but also social media, and also how I started the daily. So please, if you have any video suggestions or questions, leave them in the comments. That's how I pick all of my video topics, is from what people left in the comments. So it is so appreciated. Make sure to check out my courses. They really do dive into exactly how I was able to start everything. And I have it for basically all of the different platforms, whether it's blogging, Pinterest, my email list, and my social media. I go through it all, so definitely check it out. The link will be in the description, but I hope you have a great day, and I will see you at the next video.